YouTube, welcome back to How To Do's and Don'ts. Today I wanted to give you a little tip and advice here of a better way to jumpstart your car than using jumper cables. Much safer, quicker as well, and you have a couple more options with this particular device too, versus always having to pop a hood, run your cables over to another car, hoping they're not crisscrossing or touching them to create or cause problems in the meantime. They have little lithium ion rechargeable boxes out there. This particular one is the Stanley Simple Start. I probably had this thing now for 3 or 4 years at least. I haven't had any problems out of it. To be honest, they recommend you don't store it in real hot areas. So if you were to keep it in the car, you'd want to keep it somewhere, probably underneath your seats or anywhere it can stay in cooler air, anyways, because lithium ion batteries always do better in cooler environments, such as any other battery, really, to where they're not going to get overheating. The backside here, that's basically showing a legend, trying to get it to autofocus a little bit, see if it will over time. But it's basically telling you on red for the box itself, whenever it's charging, there's a power indicator on the front. If it's showing that it's red, then that means it's basically dead. If it's yellow, it's about midway. If it's on the blue and it's flashing around the ring slowly, it's charging. If it's blue and constantly lit, it's fully charged. And it's very similar to the same thing when it's actually charging the battery. If you connect it, once you turn the power on with the cables, if it's red, that means your battery is very dead. If it's yellow, it's about midway. And once it's green, means it's good to go. From what I've seen overall with that, once it's green, I'd still wait a minute or two to guarantee that it will start with no problem. From what I've experienced myself, this will even jumpstart V8s too with no problem. That's another great thing about it. Down here, it'll actually tell you too if there's a problem with the battery, if there's a fault in it, and if it has low voltage, and then also if this battery is overheating. That's your trouble codes down there. A little bit more about it. If you look here on the front, this is me turning the power on here on that button. Okay, that's blue. Trying to get a better view there of the lights out. There you go. Showing that it's fully charged, ready to go. And once that's on, you have the features here to where I'll show you. That's actually where it will charge. Just to plug in DC voltage, a converter with an adapter that will charge it. Over here on this other side, that's where you actually plug in your cables. I'll show you those here real quick to where you're either using the cables to jumpstart your battery to your car, or if you have a cigarette lighter, instead of popping the hood, which I think is great, especially if it's raining, this is the end to it. You can see how it fit in there. Here's the end of that cable. When you slide it in here, it just goes right in just like that. It's that simple. Once that's connected, you take the other end, just put it in your cigarette lighter, so you don't even have to pop the hood. If you have a cigarette lighter, it's giving you access there to where it has constant power to it. Then just turn your button on. It'll let you know when that battery's charged, and you don't even have to get out of your car, nor do you have to pop your hood. So if you're in an area you think is sketchy or scary, you ain't even got to get out of the vehicle. Then you don't have to worry about trusting a stranger. And then, like how I said too, if you're in inclement weather, just that much better too. You're not having to pop the hood at all. So whether it's this particular device or not, if you find something similar to that, it could save you in that scenario and get you out of a situation you don't want to be in. The other cables are right here. I'll show you briefly. It's the same thing. You're just taking that in there and you're just pushing it right on in. As you can see, it's just that simple. It's made to fit right in it. You can't connect it but one way on both of those. And then these here, there's your little clips where you take and sit the box very close to the battery. They're red and black, letting you know positive and negative. It even shows it on top of these. Just as a reminder, besides the coloration, you can see the plus, and then you can see the minus on the handles there, if you look close enough with that. And I'm pretty sure these boxes and devices have a polarity check too, to where it'll keep it from shorting or creating problems internally inside of these things. That's another advantage, that your jumper cables definitely do not provide. Like, don't quote me on this particular model, but I'm pretty sure it does have that, and I know that most of them do, because that was another added feature to help keep you from screwing up your battery and potentially your computer to your car too. Because if you hook these up backwards, polarity and all, you can have problems. You can even have the problems with jump starting from another vehicle. That's why they technically don't even recommend it. But you have to do something in those situations. But yeah, this device, it takes a while to charge. I will not deny that. Once you plug it in, it's going to be, I think it's anywhere between maybe 6 or 8 hours, if I'm remembering correctly. Don't quote me, but it does take a while to fully charge it. Either way, once it's charged, me personally, I've had this thing sit around for weeks, if not months, and it's been fine. Have seen a couple of reviews where somebody said that they charged it, and then like 3 days later, that it still didn't have a good charge, and they had to recharge it. They just ended up with one that had a bad battery. That's all that was. Is it actually a good product? But every now and again, anything in mass production, you're gonna get something bad, and that's just an indication of a bad battery. It's not a bad product. It's just sometimes good products still have problems after every million made, whatever it might be, to where you might have some issues with a particular thing. But it's a great thing, like I said, that can save you. And I'll show you the last couple features. When that power button is on, you do have a built-in flashlight and a USB charger here too. Here's a USB charger. That's a 2 amp port. And then over here is a flashlight too. So say in that situation too, say you couldn't charge your cell phone no more, something from maybe your cigarette lighter, or the adapter that you had or something in there that went into it, and you just needed to do a USB or something, then that would give you the option. If you don't have the car, same thing. If you don't have any power or something, it's great for that too. When your power's out, that this could act as a way to be able to charge your cell phone in emergency cases too. So it's good to have for that reason too. If your car breaks down there, like I was saying, and you don't have power, or your batteries basically dead to your phone, you can go ahead and plug it in to make that call if this can't get you out of the situation you're in with your car troubles. But hold it for like 2 seconds, I believe it is, once it's on, and you see how it lit up there. It'll let you know it works, and then over there is your light, to where if you needed to see, you'd have you a flashlight or something too, to at least help you around or whatever in that situation. But as you can tell, it's still lit up for the USB, letting you know to help you find it over there, and to where you can charge your devices on it. So some great features to have, like I say, in those types of situations. You never know when you might be in one. For the price of them, you can probably find a device like it, or that particular one, probably $60 to maybe 100 or something like that. Everything has gone so much higher than what it used to be, so it might even be as high as 120. I can honestly say it's worth it if it lasts anywhere near as long as mine has. I've used it several times to jumpstart my riding lawnmower. That's another great use for it. If you have a big yard, riding lawnmower, maybe a tractor, something like that that you use all the time, it is super convenient instead of having to try to bring out another vehicle or another heavy battery all the way over to that thing and try to jumpstart it off. So, like I say, you can just hook that thing up, wait a little bit, and it's way faster. That's the other thing about forgot to mention to you. Versus jumper cables, lots of times will take 15, 20 minutes or more. If your battery is severely dead, you can probably get it in most scenarios with this thing like 5 minutes or less with a lot of them, if it's not like way down. But yeah, it works way more efficiently and rapidly than standard jumper cables, as far as how the product's designed with the electronics on board of it. So yeah, give it a shot, see what you think. I personally love it and recommend that you keep one around. But I hope that helps you. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video.